Elijah, are you eating Pringles?
Yes. I stole some snacks from my sister's house while I was there, so I got myself some Nutella and go. Pretzels and Nutella, delicious. Some Pringles, and I got myself some apple juice and a bottle of water. Sister, when you listen to this later, thank you.
You just robbed her home for snacks?
Yoo-hoo, this is a home invasion. Give me all your snacks.
Talk about nosy neighbors, man.
Blowout. It's actually getting dark, so I think I need to turn on the light.
Probably a good idea.
When he gets back, are we actually going to start?
Maybe.
It's not like I couldn't record in the dark, though.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that?
It's just a creepy episode where I just...
Put your hood up.
Sit here in the dark. Welcome to the Animal Squadron podcast.
Well, you know that's going to be the intro now. I'm just
You're
going to replace...
the intro now. This will probably never come out.
I'm going to replace your audio.
I'm going to replace you.
Do it. I want to see you try.
Guys, stop fighting.
Everyone knows you can't. All right, fine. I'll start since Tucker wants to spend time with his stupid wife.
Yeah. What a jerk.
Oh, that guy. How dare he love his wife?
Wait a sec. Hey!
All wings report in. HouseDog, standing by.
Mother Goose, standing by.
Lock S foils in attack position. Animal Squadron ready for battle.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Animal Squadron podcast. I am your host, HouseDog, and with me, as always, my co-pilot, the hairiest guy I know, the hairiest Wookiee I know, Mother Goose.
Hello, everybody.
Your mic, peaked really weird right then.
Hell yeah.
I just heard, hello, everybody.
While he's drinking a bowl of water.
Ah, yes, and there he is, our little Minok, the Lowtech man himself. Hello, Tuck.
Now safe inside the cabin. What up, everybody?
We have brooms, and we're trying to shoo him out. But
I already made my little Minok nest in here.
He always sneaks back in somehow.
I won't tell you which gonk droid I've been living in, but it's one of them.
Well, I think that's all we just get rid of all the gonk droids. It's fine.
Tuck is now morphed into a porg. He's just made a nest inside the Falcon.
Hey man, Minocs make nests too. You don't know. You don't know us like that as a collective group.
How you started as this weird turtle cyborg, you became a Minok, and now you're evolving into a porg.
Am I just a shapeshifter like Zam from Attack of the Clones? Yep.
Yeah, we'll just cycle through all the Star Wars animals before the end.
Yep.
Yeah, Tuck's everything.
I'm actually a crate dragon in disguise.
Hell yeah.
It's just I'm just a crate dragon just wearing a little Minok mask who's squeezed into the Falcon. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I swear, we need an animation team for this show.
One day. Okay. So today we're going to be taking a quick break from talking about Bad Batch. We will get back to it next week.
No, please. I want to talk about Bad Batch more for the 5th week in a row.
But this week we'll be talking about Jedi Fallen Order, which I don't know about you guys. I think is maybe my second favorite, if not third.
Star Wars game?
Yeah.
Favorite game, yeah.
Yes, aside
It's
from
up there.
stuff like the one main game that I feel a lot of nostalgia for, this is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, that game is the original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That is such a good game.
But those two are my favorite ever, probably.
The two, I think for me, would be Force Unleashed and then Knights of the Old Republic. That and then Fallen Order. All three of them, I'm just They're all just so good.
Yeah.
I don't know. My top Star Wars games are pretty locked up. Like my oldest is probably Star Wars Pod Racing.
What about episode 3?
That's probably Star Wars Pod Racers. Probably like in order of like release time. Like Star Wars Pod Racers, the oldest, and even then there was an old Nintendo 64 Star Wars game. It was like in a Doom style. I think it was Dark of the Empire or something.
Okay.
I remember the cover on the game cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
I also woke up like 10 minutes ago, so my brain is
Wait,
low.
are you talking about Shadow of the Empire?
Shadow of the Empire, yeah.
Yeah, I actually almost bought that a couple days ago.
Where you play discount Han Solo.
One of the retro game stores here has a couple copies.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I don't think I ever beat it, but that was a fun game.
I've never played it, but it looks good.
It is. It's a lot of fun. So that one, Star Wars Pod Racing, and then the next one is probably like Battlefront 2, Episode 3, and then
Force Unleashed.
Yeah, Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
That's respectable.
Well, boys, do we want to talk about gameplay or story first?
Why not lay down the story?
I guess
Ooh.
I gotta
Tiebreaker.
I gotta be the tiebreaker. This is too much. Listen, I don't have any coins. I'm gonna flip my camera cover.
This is rigged.
Someone call heads or tails.
Why don't you just ask Siri to flip a coin?
No, that's too much work. Somebody
Tucker,
call it.
Are you heads or tails?
I call heads.
Siri,
Go,
flip a
let you
coin.
go.
Tails. Mac
Yeah,
wins. Sorry,
I got
boys.
tails. I got tails too. So.
Oh man, I'm double wrong. Jeepers.
Dang, sorry, Tuck. Mac, I already, in all the excitement, I forgot which one you picked.
Story.
Oh, okay. Just as like a general thought, I really enjoyed the story of this game. I thought it was paced very well. It was very like intense. It was emotional. I felt really connected to the characters, and I don't know. I really like the story for this game.
Yeah,
So,
I do too.
I think your like how much fun you had with the game solely depends on what difficulty you chose. Do you guys remember what difficulty you played on the first time you played through?
Yes. So I am 100% all about the story. So my first playthrough on really any game like this, but especially this one because I was so hyped about it, I played it on easy.
Nice.
Elijah,
Which I think
you?
this was one of the first games where easy was actually labeled story mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also too, I mean, it was still somewhat challenging. I will say it wasn't like, I mean, I did like die a few times. Like it wasn't like so easy it was boring. You know?
Right. Yeah. I'm a strong believer in all of my playthroughs. I will always do normal first because I feel like that's what the devs intended, like the experience they designed around, and then from there I might go harder or easier depending on how I'm feeling. Mac?
So I think I started on medium, and I even died like in the first level.
Yeah.
Like the setting the story level, like I think I died like 2 or 3 times. And then I got to, I know we're talking about story, we're not at gameplay yet, but like I think I got to the first time that you fight the main sister before you fight the big sister for the first time.
Trilla?
Yeah, the first
Second
time you
sister?
fight Trilla. Yeah, second
Yeah.
sister. Like the first time you fight her, besides on the first planet.
Yeah.
Like the actual first time you fight her, and I just like I can't remember whenever I turned the difficulty down. It was either that planet or whenever you fight that dark or that fallen Jedi
Yeah, on
later in the
Dathomir.
game. Yeah, on Dathomir.
Yeah.
I either turned it down then or then. I can't remember which planet I played through first. But one of those, I just kept dying and kept dying and kept dying. And I was literally stuck for like an hour. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. So I turned it down from medium to like normal.
Which is valid.
Well, because I
Now-
was like getting upset and I was like, this
Yeah.
just isn't being fun. So I turned it down.
I know some people enjoy the experience of dying a bunch and then finally overcoming a boss that kills them a lot. There's a satisfaction behind that. But if you're not enjoying playing a game, then why are you playing it, really?
Yeah, which I'm
Exactly.
definitely the kind where I would definitely just quit.
Yeah.
If I feel like I can't win, that's just not the game for me, dog. So that's also why I started on story mode, was because I wanted to really fall in love with it before I turned it up.
Yeah. I will admit, playing it on normal, there were a couple times where I got frustrated and had to take a little break before moving forward.
Yeah, so
well,
story-wise, pretty long game.
yeah, I think so. Let me you guys talk about it a little bit. Let me look up what an average playtime is for the game.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
whenever
sure.
they released it, it was like 16 hours or something. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, so our main character is Cal Kestis. He is a Jedi Padawan that survived the Purge and has grown into like a young man. He's got to be in his 20s.
Yeah, because for context, this takes place in 14 BBY, so about 5 years after Episode 3.
Yeah. So Empire is fully settled at this time. Mm-hmm. The Inquisitors are a thing. They're running around and stuff. Cal is just trying to survive in the galaxy. He eventually has to reveal that he is a Jedi. And then he goes on this wild adventure to lots of different planets to... You discover more of his story throughout the game, and you get flashbacks. He has the Force power where he can feel emotions and relive past events through objects. I forget what it's called.
I actually have that written down because I knew.
Force memory?
No, it's a special word.
Yes, it is psychometry.
There we
Oh.
go. It's Petrie. You guys know who Petrie is, right?
Yeah, from Land Before Time.
I knew Tuck did.
Oh yeah, okay,
me
yes.
He's the little loser pterodactyl that like always gets beat up.
So, okay. What you were talking about is finding more about Cal Kestis's past and stuff. Something I really loved about this game that is kind of story, kind of gameplay, is the fact that you unlocked new abilities every time there was a flashback on
Yeah, that's
Cal
true.
Kestis's life, which I thought was a really unique way to do it.
I thought it hindered the game in some ways though.
Really?
Because like the one flashback was like double jump or some nonsense.
And that's
That
toward
is
the
true.
end. That's toward
That-
the end.
That is true.
I'm like, how do I need a flashback to remember force jump? So like that was one thing that kind of hindered gameplay for me, is that some things were locked behind those,
Story moments.
Yeah. Which I enjoyed the game. It was a whole lot of fun, but I would rather play Force Unleashed.
That's a really hard one for me because they're both so unique and so different. I really love both of these games, and I think between the two of them, I think Jedi Fallen Order has the better story.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with Elijah. I think that Jedi Fallen Order is a better game for quite a few reasons. But anyways, like with what I was gonna say, Mac, with the lock behind things though. I mean, on that note, Star Wars games do that though. I mean, quite often, like all of the Lego Star Wars games do that, where you have to go through with another character in order to unlock this certain thing to get the mini kit or whatever. Like it did the same thing. So I mean, it's not like I didn't really view that as like a negative, I guess I should say. I think honestly for me, I found it more engaging. Just that like you have to figure out different ways to play as the story progresses because you get new powers or you invest skill points in a skill tree. Like I really enjoyed it.
I think I'm neutral on it because I really like the concept of it, but I will agree there were times I think the order of it could have been a little better. Like I agree, double jump probably should have been a little sooner.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the last one.
It's pretty far back, yeah.
I think it's the last one, yeah.
And so a large reason they do it this way is because the way the game is structured is you revisit most of the planets multiple times. And when you go back to a different planet, at this point, because you've been to other planets, you've unlocked new abilities, which means you can explore the planet further. Like parts of the planets are locked behind having certain abilities that you don't get till later, which I understand why they do it. It helps with like progression, but I'm not the largest fan of that in video games.
Well, I mean, it also extends the life of the game because you develop these maps and then there are only like 6-7 planets in the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
And if you lock everything, or if you lock like 2/3 of the map behind having the ability to double jump or getting the wall climbers that you get from Dathomir, it really extends the life of the game in those maps. Like, I'm not hating on the game. All the maps are like super beautiful. And I mean, ever since Clone Wars came out, everybody wanted to, go to Dathomir and see more about it. So like I remember playing it the first time. It was so cool getting to go back to Dathomir and actually play through it and, see the planet and see Zabraks and fight against them. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. This is like the first time that I've ever played a Souls-like combat in the game.
Right. Which I really appreciate because the Souls games, they have one difficulty. So you're forced to get good or quit. But I really appreciate the fact that this game had multiple difficulties so people could still experience the story without having to bash their head against a wall for 200 hours.
Why don't you kind of explain what I meant by Souls-like combat style, Elijah?
So the Souls games or Soulsborne games, they're meant to be some of the hardest games of all time. The whole point is learning enemy attack patterns. Enemies do a ton of damage. You have very little health and do little damage yourself, depending on what weapons and stuff you have. But a lot of it is just, it's all about timing. You need to know when to dodge, you need to know when to block or parry, and you need to know when to attack. And the Soulsborne games as a genre are really fun and they're really satisfying when you get good at them. And I think something the Soulsborne's game like really do well is big oversized bosses, which I think people were a little disappointed about with this game because we had some big bosses, but I don't think it was what people necessarily were hoping for. What was that creature in Mandalorian or maybe Book of Boba Fett it was Book of Boba Fett where the village people and the Tuskens all like teamed up to fight?
Oh, no, that's a Mandalorian. That's a crate dragon.
Yeah, the crate dragon. Like, I think people were imagining fighting crate dragons, stuff like that, based on it being inspired by the Souls games, in terms of, like, scale. But overall, I really am happy how they did this game, because it's very clearly Souls inspired, but at the same time, it's its own unique thing. And I really love that.
Yeah. Well, and also on that note too, I mean, like, people talk about how it's so much different from Force Unleashed, but
Right.
to be honest with you, I almost would say, as far as the combat goes, is that it's like a Souls-like game and Force Unleashed had a baby. Is kind of what the gameplay is like. I think.
And I actually wrote something down on that, because this game, talking about the whole timing and stuff, like, it feels so realistic with your lightsaber, because if you can time your hits properly against a stormtrooper, you can one-shot a stormtrooper, or you can cut one of those little rat things in half, which feels very realistic, but it's all about having that proper timing, and I love that. It's so satisfying when you actually get the hits in. And I was specifically talking about Force Unleashed, because people love Force Unleashed because it's a power fantasy, because you are this incredibly powerful Force wielder. You're bringing a Star Destroyer down from the sky. Well, you're more like, it's already falling. You're just helping it, guiding it a little bit. But I think in the same vein, Force or Jedi Fallen Order is also a like power fantasy, but it's with the lightsaber combat instead of the Force.
Yes, my power fantasy of not being able to double jump like a Jedi should.
You get there. You get
No,
there.
I had to talk a little trash. No, I like the so I will say, I think the only thing that I liked about the new combat style, as far as from a Star Wars game with this one, was I was kind of worried whenever, we got the news that it was going to be a Souls-like combat. I'd never played, the Soulborne games or Dark Souls or any of that stuff where all that combat's the same, and I was really nervous about it. I knew I was still going to buy the game. I knew I was still going to play the game, but I was worried about my enjoyment of it, because I really don't like those type of games. Mm-hmm. And that's not really how I like my Star Wars. I'm a huge Force Unleashed guy. And I just...
Wait, really? I couldn't tell.
No, I like my Star Wars games of where I can be a Jedi or not even necessarily a Jedi, but I can be a Force wielder and someone that uses a lightsaber, and I can just go unhinged and, just go crazy and hack and slash, because I'm also a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, which if you've ever played Kingdom Hearts, the combat in there is like so easy. Anybody can pick up Kingdom Hearts and play it, because you have a jump button, a dodge, and an attack button.
Yeah.
And that's it combat wise, which is how I like my games. 3 buttons max.
So I think a big thing is the difference between the Force Unleashed and Jedi Fallen Order is we also have to look at the characters and where they are. Starkiller is Darth Vader's apprentice, and has been trained his whole life. Mm-hmm. While Cal Kestis has spent the last 5 years suppressing his Force abilities. And I really love that about the story, because he's reconnecting with the Force and he's finding things out again. And I think the Cal Kestis we see in Jedi Survivor will be a lot more powerful than he was in Fallen Order.
Yeah, and then also too, I mean, as far as Force Unleashed goes, it's one of those things, I mean, like, think about the first line of the Force Unleashed game, when Vader comes in and kills Galen Merrick's master, and then he's like, "Where is your master? I know there is one more powerful than you." And it's like, Galen Merrick is a kid, and so I really think that, like, as far as power level goes, also there's a difference. Like, I mean, I really think Galen Merrick probably has quite a bit higher of a midichlorian count than Cal does.
I agree.
Midichlorians do not interpret power levels.
I think you better think about Yoda and Anakin before you say that.
I think you better think about Anakin and Jar Jar Binks.
That's it. I'm leaving.
Do not get into a philosophy debate with me on midichlorians, sir.
Okay, so a couple things in terms... I'm sorry, I know we totally got shifted from story to gameplay, but a couple things on gameplay I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, we might as well just mention all of it.
Yeah. So, man, does it feel good to block a blaster bolt. Like, you time it right and it goes directly back and kills a stormtrooper one hit. That feels so good.
Yeah, so that was actually my complete thought about the, like, Souls gameplay versus our usual gameplay that we get with Jedi in the previous games that we've gotten, no matter how old they are. Like, I will say this game and its combat style really, like, they did really well. I think, while I'm not a super fan of fighting this way in the Star Wars universe, I think it is the best way to wield a lightsaber. Like, I've never felt more in tune with wielding a lightsaber than playing this game over, you know, like something as old as the original Battlefront 2, where it's, you know, a game that we've all played for hundreds of hours, but the lightsaber combat in that sucks. It's super unresponsive. If you haven't played the game for years, you don't know when to time your swings against enemies. I mean, we've all played that game for years, so we know exactly how to use every character. But, like, this game, it did a really great job of lightsaber combat and actually making you feel like this is how you wield a lightsaber, and this is how you block, or this is how you parry with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And really understanding sword combat. So, I mean, great job on there, but I'd still take Force Unleashed combat any day.
And that's actually what I was talking about earlier, the difference, how I see the difference between the two, because the lightsaber combat, it's so good in this game. That's the big pull, while the big pull for Force Unleashed is obviously the crazy Force abilities.
Yeah. Also on that note too, like, one thing I really liked, just like on the lightsaber note of this game, is that, like, whenever I played through, I was honestly thinking about the Battlefront 2 reference that Mac was making. Like, in those characters have, like, 2 ways to swing their lightsaber, 3 ways to swing their lightsaber, and that's about it. It depends on if you're running or jumping or walking. You know, like, that's it. Whereas this, like, you can really, not only is there a bunch of different ways and you have to time things right, but there's also ways to customize how you do it. And that's so cool to me. And then also on top of that, with the blocking the blaster bolt thing, I think my favorite part of the game would be, like, after I got pretty good at the game, I could not wait for parts where you're surrounded by stormtroopers and, like, there's guys shooting at you, there's guys trying to hit you with stuff, and so, like, you know, you block a saber bolt, slash a guy in half, and, like, you know, that to me just made me really feel like a Jedi while I was playing. I really enjoyed it.
Tug brings up a great point, because you do not slash anybody in half or cut their arms off or cut their legs off or their heads. Super upset that there was no dismemberment within.
But there will be in the next game.
Yeah, is there?
Also,
are they finally fixing that?
Yeah,
and
they
you
showed it off in the
do.
trailers.
Like, the finishing moves, like, whenever you, like, one-shot a stormtrooper, like, you get the timing perfect. I mean, you do slash them in half. You just don't see the 2 pieces.
No, it's just a lightsaber. It's just a burn. It's totally stupid.
But the move, he does slash them in half. It's just not programmed.
He doesn't cut anybody in half, though. It's lame. I can't remember which Force Unleashed it is, but, like, you cut limbs and heads off with certain moves. And I always thought that was sick, because you never got that in any Star Wars game besides Force Unleashed. And they finally did it in that game. What company even produced those games?
Force Unleashed?
Was it Bethesda?
No, I thought it was like Ubisoft or someone.
I'll look it up.
Ubisoft?
I do know that Jedi Fallen Order's Respawn. Okay, while I'm looking up, something else I wanted to talk about was the customization options.
Yeah, super big deal there. the most we've seen that was also Force Unleashed, where the only thing you really got to do was lightsaber color, which was like a
Right.
big deal back then because we had never gotten to do that before. But with this game, we got to do hilts, lightsaber color. Well, actually, like the whole lightsaber itself, not just the hilt, but
Is customizable, which I absolutely love.
that
you
was a
get to
cool
create
part of
your
it.
own, pretty much. Yeah.
And my only complaint I think is, I have two complaints on the customization. One, I wish there was more customization options for Cal. I'm not the biggest fan of his look in this game. I'd pay money for more costumes, honestly, which I know is something that we're getting in the second game. There's going to be packs you can buy for different costumes, but like, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of his look.
What do you mean? You don't like changing your poncho and your base outfit that you never see underneath your poncho?
Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite. And then two, I'm so torn because I thought it was a cool mechanic that you could change your lightsaber in the ship, but I also wish that you could change your lightsaber any moment. Like there were times
Right,
where I'm like
on the go.
halfway. Yeah, I'm like halfway through a planet and I'm like, I want to change my lightsaber color, and then I'm sitting there like, well, now do I run all the way back to the ship or do I continue on with this mission? Because it's going to be the same amount of time either way.
Well, there were
Yeah.
lightsaber benches like all throughout the levels as well, but
Your
there was only like
lightsaber
one
bench.
bench. Shut it! I will beat you. There was like one lightsaber bench a level, but you're
Yeah.
right. If not, you had to go all the way back to the ship, and that was a bit annoying. The other thing that I wasn't a super huge fan of with the customization is it was pretty in depth as far as we'd seen. But now looking back, it is kind of limited because you had like certain sets for the hilt and then the middle of your lightsaber and then the top. There was only like 6 sets. And then you got, the metal color for your lightsaber. You got to pick that, which was cool. And then you also got the blade color, which, I mean, I hate to like complain, but as cool as it was, I don't think it was enough for me. Like there wasn't enough sets, and I don't know. They all had names with them, and some
you
of
go
them
find
flowed
them all?
together. Yeah, I had everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Which also, on that note, though, one thing I didn't like, it's like speaking of the metal colors, was like, did y'all notice like several of the metal colors were like basically the same?
Yeah,
That
one
comes
was
with-
either
It'd be like copper, bronze, or gold. And it's
Yeah,
like, well,
and they
those
were all
all
just-
kind of look the same.
they
on
were
this
all
game.
very slight differences.
Yeah.
well, that
I'm
and it was like either a matte finish or a gloss finish. Which
Yeah.
some of those matte finishes looked really bad. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't even tell. And some of the gloss ones were it just
too
made
shiny.
the thing, it made it look slippery. Like it
Yeah.
was wet or something.
But some of them are really good. Like I'm rocking, I don't know what it was called, but it was the white and gold one that was very clearly inspired by like the temple guards.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which-
I'm
Is that the Sarah pack?
maybe.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what I'm rocking is the wood one.
Yeah,
That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
so
surprising.
Yep.
there are some bad ones, but there are also some really good ones too. And I'm really torn. How do you guys feel? Because this game, it was just the game, and then there was a digital deluxe upgrade, which came with, I think, one costume for Cal, one costume for the Mantis, one for BD1, and the orange lightsaber color.
Which
It was
I
$10
was stupid enough to buy.
I'm so sorry. Xbox gave it away for free like last month.
Well, and you got the Empire outfit.
Oh, yes. Or actually, I think you get that one from beating the game, if I remember. If I'm thinking of the right outfit.
Well,
The,
I know at the time I had a
Inquisitor?
PlayStation, and the Inquisitor outfit was the deluxe version of the game, which you didn't get that until you beat the game.
Right.
And then also too, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, did y'all really care? Like, I saw the Inquisitor outfit, I was like, Sweet.
I
Like,
was
already
so
beat-
excited. I was like,
I was like, I already
yes.
beat the game. Why do I even care? You know,
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
I thought it sucked. It was just like a black flight suit.
So I've been rocking it my whole every other playthrough I've done. It's been in the Inquisitor outfit. I was so excited because yes, it would have been nice to have it sooner, but like I was just so glad. Like, oh, something else. I don't have to wear a poncho anymore.
I like the poncho better. Which was y'all's favorite poncho? Because there's only one right answer.
My whole point of bringing this up was how do you guys feel about the fact that in the second game they're going to be selling essentially a bunch of digital deluxes, like they're going to monetize most of the costumes.
I hate it. I hate when games do that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of refuse to do that. So I'll just play the game with the normal outfits, and then I'll just get them for free in a year or two whenever they get tired of it.
I'm a sucker. I'll pay that $80 for costumes every time.
Yeah, I refuse.
I will probably drop maybe $20, get a costume or two. I think what's going to get me is that they're going to have lightsaber hilts. Like, I know there's one inspired by Obi-Wan, so you can get his lightsaber.
That might get me.
Yeah, they're going to do legacy stuff. And I guarantee you, mark my words, that's what they're going to title those packs, is legacy packs.
Yeah. Well,
where
so we
it's
know
hilts inspired by Anakin, Obi-Wan, probably Leia or Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I guarantee you they're going to have them in there. What
Which
were we
if they
talking
do, I'll
about
probably
before
have to
all
have
this,
it.
Elijah?
Anyway, I'm so sorry. Ponchos. You asked
Yes,
us which are our favorite
ponchos.
ones. I'll go first because
There's only one right
there
answer.
is no favorite poncho. I never wear the ponchos.
You're trash. Tuck?
I forget what it's called, but it's the black and yellow one. That's my favorite.
Nice.
There's only one right answer.
Mac looks so disappointed in us. Sometimes I wish the viewers could just see your face sometimes.
I didn't look that angry. Did I look that angry?
No, not angry. Disappointed.
Oh, well, there's only one, like, cool poncho. I haven't played the game in a really long time. Mm-hmm. But there's only one poncho that I wore the entire game as soon as I got it. And that
Which
was
one?
the Darth Maul poncho. The, like, Dathomir poncho that's Darth Maul colors.
Yes, I know which one you're talking
It's
about.
like an off-white red with, like, the pattern of a Zabrak in black. And it's super
that is
cool.
pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet, I will say.
Okay, let me just look through my notes real quick to see. Oh, okay. This is my last thing I want to talk about gameplay. I've had a lot of complaints. I love this game so much. I'm not the biggest fan of the map. It can be kind of confusing.
The maps are pretty hard to traverse.
So when you're playing the game, you get used to it. You kind of learn it. It's fine. I haven't played in like a year. I jumped in last night to play some. I had no idea where I was going, and I could not read the map at all.
I agree. It wasn't the most like user friendly thing, and like I didn't figure out there was layers to a map and like how to, like you said, like figure out how to read the map until like my third world, where I finally realized like you could shift through the layers on your map and figure out, oh, this is how I get to level 2 to get to this place, or this is how I get to level 3 from level 1 by unlocking this lift that I haven't had access to because I didn't have double jump.
I to be honest with you, as far as the worlds go, I actually really liked them. But on the other hand, as far as the gameplay goes, the only thing I didn't like is like I thought some of the puzzles took too long.
Yeah.
Like some of the puzzles I thought like, you know, like there were some that was just really hard to figure out. I thought, and I was just like, this kind of like, I didn't really buy this game for the puzzles, man. Like, I mean, I get that it's fun, but like there was some that seriously like took me like an hour to figure out.
Yeah.
Tucker's puzzle level is square peg round hole.
Well, I mean, like, you know, if you think about like, which one was it? When you're on the Zepho planet, isn't it called Zepho?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
And it's that big one where like there's first of all the giant swinging ball, and then you have to run around and get all the vents working, and then you have to get the ball out of the swing, get it to go around perfectly to where it goes up the ramp, and then the door unlocks because the elevator things start going up. But you have to figure out the door's up there.
Yeah.
And you have to figure all of this out. And then, like, whenever you hit, like, BD1 for a hint, all Cal does is say something about wind. And you're like, okay, I get that the wind will move the ball. I understand, but where is the ball? Where is it? And then, like, finally you YouTube it, and you're like, it's in the swing. Okay, all right, fine, I finally understand. Like,
some wind would really help here. Tucker just standing prone in the game, hitting the hint button. Cal casts this over and over. Some wind would really help here. Some wind would really help here.
And I'm like, I understand about the wind. I understand.
Tell me something else. Tell me something else.
I went to college. I'm not stupid.
You didn't go to a real college. Don't tell these lies on the internet.
It was a junior college, but I went to college.
A real
and I
college.
You have a
graduated.
certification, not a degree.
I have a degree.
You're
I have a
valid
degree.
to me.
I have a degree. It is an associate's degree.
Hey, I don't know why you guys are letting me talk trash. You're the only one with actual college degrees, and I dropped out. So,
Okay. Do we have anything else gameplay-wise before we move to story?
I don't know. With this game, they kind of go hand in hand. Somebody said something a second ago, and now I'm kind of blanking on it.
Gotcha.
What were we talking about? We were talking about the map stuff.
Yes. Oh, and Tucker, I wanted to clarify. When we were talking about the map, we were talking about like BD1's map that he would show us.
Yeah, Elijah was talking about the UI of the map.
Yeah.
Not like...
Oh, good. Okay.
puzzles.
Cool.
Oh no! I thought you meant like the maps. Like you didn't like that they had levels.
No.
no,
He
I
was talking
love
about
that.
the UI interface.
I was like, I thought that was pretty sick. But okay, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah, that was kind of
BD1's
hard
map that he'd
because there was
show
like
us.
no directions on
Yeah.
like how to use that. Yeah, like honestly, I got frustrated, just started clicking buttons and it worked.
And I can't remember, like I said, I didn't do some replay of the game before we recorded this episode. I'm just kind of going off the dome and what I remember, because it was such like a big event that I remember the game coming out and playing it a lot. But was there like on controller, it's usually like up or down on the D-pad, or on, computer, it's like the X button. Was there like a, like it'll shoot out like a magical orb, like whether, I know Dead Space does this. I know some games do it. There wasn't that in this game?
No. On the map, you could see the objective on the map, but like, let's say you hadn't explored that area, it would just be like an objective out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're just I'll figure out how to get there.
I'm not a huge fan of hand-holding in games, and I think that's something that they took really serious in this game. Was it? I'm thinking of Force Unleashed. They had that in Force Unleashed. You would press on the D-pad, and you would get a little force bubble to guide you to the main objective.
Yeah, I'm really torn because like some people need it, some people enjoy it. I really like stuff like that, but at the same time, I don't, because when they do have it, I feel like I over rely on it.
Yeah, and also like I feel like it makes the game not as fun because they just give it to you.
I like it because
I like trying to figure it out.
You can use it to figure out what the main pathing is for the game, and then like whenever, let's say you're in a room with 2 doors on your left, 2 doors on your right, and then a door ahead of you. Gamer logic tells you it's going to be the door ahead of me, right? Because games just naturally progress forward most of the time. And it's going to be the route that seems the most obvious, usually in games. But with that, up on the D-pad or X on your keyboard, if it tells me to go forward, I know to go check out those 4 rooms for, those hidden costumes, or a power upgrade, or a health upgrade, or a new lightsaber
really like
color,
too.
or a new hilt. That's why I like having it, is it helps me with the exploring / like looting aspect of the game. So that's why I like those point me to the main objective. Like Dead Space, perfect example of this. Like you get a objective marker in that game, and there's a lot of like hidden loot in that game that if you don't get it, it makes the further you progress in the game, really harder if you haven't looted those areas.
Yeah, especially like if you miss a gun or ammo or the like armor upgrades, which give you more health, or more inventory slots. It makes a really big difference. But let's see. Shall we start talking about story?
I mean, I feel like story and gameplay go really hand in hand with this because
they do, but we've been really focused on
I was gonna say, I think we pretty much covered gameplay. I don't really know what else we need to really say.
What about when did you guys discover the Ogdo Bogdo?
Oh yeah, how you can't fight him? Is that what you're gonna say?
You can fight him. You can beat him. Did you not beat him?
What the
first planet?
Bogano? Yeah, Bogano. How like that big like dragon dude like way off in the distance?
No, he's talking about the big frog.
The Ogdo Bogdo is a place that you stumble upon while looting. And you're like really early level whenever you first discover it. And he just there were so many memes about him and they're hilarious. Have you guys seen those? Like, do you remember them?
No, but also I definitely fought him and I did really enjoy it. I thought you guys were talking because also on Bogano there's a large monster like in the corner of the map that you can see, but there's no way to get over there.
Yeah,
and that honestly, like, it kind of frustrated me. I was like, well, why can we even look at him? Like, I really want to fight him. I want to fight him
over there,
and I want to update him into my little Pokédex thing, man.
Dude, that creature was like a sweetheart. I can't believe you wanted to fight him.
I wanted to just jab my lightsaber into his heart.
Yeah, I did.
What is wrong with you?
Tame him and make him my beast of burden. One of the two.
Look, in Elden Ring, I killed the sleeping dragon. That's all you gotta know about me. If I get XP from it, it's gonna die. Okay.
I respect it.
So a really big part of like the main story is one, Cal Kestis, of course, like we've talked about, reconnecting with the Force, reconnecting with these abilities, accepting his past and moving forward. But also he's on this journey throughout most of the entire game to find this holocron with a list of all the Force-sensitive children.
Oh, so screw my Ogdo Bogdo? Okay.
We talked about the Ogdo Bogdo.
When did you find it? When did you find it?
I told you, like right at the beginning of the game.
Oh, so you got wrecked.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
No, I won.
There's no way you
Proud of you, Tech.
Wait, no, you were playing on story mode. Never mind.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Proud of you.
Yeah. I got that loot. I got that loot, dog.
No, I killed him. I think after he killed me a few times, I said, I'm not coming back here till the end of the game. So I beat the game, and then I went and killed him at whatever level I was at that point.
It's probably really easy.
Yeah, the Ogdo Bogdo was something that I spent an hour fighting.
Oh, did you like assume it was part of the story or what?
No, I knew it was like a side deal or whatever. And I eventually was just like, screw this, and left.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so did you ever go back and kill him yourself?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What part did you go kill him?
I don't remember. I was like pretty leveled by the time I came back, though, because I was like, you're not embarrassing me again.
Understandable. Okay, so story. We got like 10 minutes left before we have to end this episode.
Yep.
I mean, we don't have.
Rapid fire. Go, 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 go.
Well, I guess technically Tuck could leave and Mac and I could keep talking, but I also would like to.
I've wanted to talk about the story this whole time.
Yeah, me
to
too.
be honest with you.
Me too. Okay,
I like how we picked story but went to gameplay immediately. Anyways, go ahead.
I gotta roast Mac just a little. I like how Mac 1 got his way to talk about story, and then
we just went
spent
straight
the last
for gameplay.
15 minutes talking about gameplay.
I love it. I love us as a group.
Me too. We're very chaotic. Okay.
I just wanted to win.
Getting
Congratulations.
Getting the holocron with the kids' names. How do we feel about this?
What do you mean? Like, I mean, I feel, I feel good about it. I don't know.
Well,
you want to break out the color wheel, or what do we do?
Yes, please. No, so a large part of it is getting this so that they could restart the Jedi Order, which I thought was a really cool concept. But then in the end, they end up destroying the holocron because Cal has his vision that, you know, he'd get captured and him and all these kids would get turned into Inquisitors. Which I think is a really powerful moment because, like, you've spent most of the game trying to achieve this goal and then just to, like, give it up to save not only, like, yourself, but all these kids as well. It's really powerful.
I don't know. Yeah. For diehard Star Wars fans, it's a storyline we've seen, I think at that point, twice. Possibly 3 times, because they did that storyline in Clone Wars where Cad Bane steals the holocron for all the Force-sensitive children in the galaxy. Mm-hmm. That's like a whole 3-episode arc. And then we see it again in Rebels.
I don't remember it in Rebels.
I'm pretty sure it was in Rebels. Either way, we've
in
seen
Rebels,
that.
I just remember the Sith holocron, and that's it.
Yeah, they do go after... They do have a...
Okay.
Oh, yes, they fight some Inquisitors, I think, over some Force-sensitive children. I do remember that. Yeah. But, like, I think where this differs is, yes, it's similar, but we're also talking about, rebuilding the whole Jedi Order. It's a little more dire here than it was in Jedi. Like, yes, of course they had to protect the kids, but if Cal fails... This is his chance to restart the Jedi Order, and a lot of it, like I was saying, is focused on that. And then it just, like, he realizes, oh, this is actually, like, maybe I do more harm than good here.
Yeah, and adding to the stakes, too. I mean, like, the other option, like, should Cal fail, it creates an opportunity for quite literally an army of Inquisitors, which would, it would turn the entire greater story of the Star Wars saga on its head. Like, if there's a little army of Inquisitors, the Rebel Alliance would have been screwed from the very start.
So I get the point you're making. I don't think Palpatine would have let there be that many Inquisitors. Like, I think he only let there be enough Inquisitors that he knew him and Vader could kill.
Yeah, but they could kill 100.
So you want to know
why?
They
could kill 150, 200.
That
like,
the stakes
kill that many.
Aren't that high?
Why?
Because this is a storyline that I already said has been played out before. And I'm going to tell you why it's stupid with a Last Jedi quote. From the main man, Luke Skywalker himself. This is the lesson that the Force does not belong to the Jedi. To say if the Jedi die, the light dies is vanity.
But that's not what we're saying, though.
But that's the whole idea of the whole holocron. We have to save the children and restart the Jedi Academy.
Yeah, but he's overcoming that. Like, Cal's giving that up. It's a selfless
I'm not saying
act.
that the sacrifice he made is stupid. I'm just saying that the concept that they keep throwing this at us is stupid. Like, we understand the stakes at this point. And I think to keep using the Force-sensitive children, like, they weren't going to make... Do you know why? Think about it. The Inquisitors weren't Jedi that... or Force-sensitive children that Vader went out and found out in the galaxy and then turned them into the Inquisitors. Inquisitors are all prior Jedi.
Yeah, they were already trained.
Yeah.
Because that's easy and efficient.
Yeah, so it's not like them getting the holocron was going to create more Inquisitors or create more Sith.
Right. But it was going to create more oppression. Like, the Empire wasn't just going to be like, oh, here's a bunch of Force-sensitive children. Like, they were going to do something about it. Either force them to become stormtroopers, enslave them, kill them. Like,
and then
the
also,
Empire wasn't just going to let them chill.
And then also, who's to say some of the Inquisitors don't get a bright idea and take one?
Yeah.
and decide to create another Inquisitor. Like, I mean,
for their own secret apprentice.
That's quite possible. But on the other hand, I do get your point. Like, it is something that has been repeated, and as Star Wars fans, like, yeah, okay, that is a little annoying. But personally, I like it. As far as tropes go, I don't really have that many problems with it. Now, on the other hand, what I do think it does, and I think this is something that we can all agree with, is it does set up a very interesting story for the next game.
I agree. Because, let's just be real, we don't see him in episode 4.
And then
hear
also
about
too,
him, so.
Also too, like the interesting thing is, like, you know, that's what his mission was all about. That's what brought him, Sarah, and Grease together, and what made them partners. And so now, without that, I think it's definitely a big curiosity to see where they go from here. I mean, what is going to happen? I don't know. No one knows, and that's the cool thing, and that's why I like the way that this first game went, even though, yes, it is kind of a trope at this point. It does still set up the next game very well.
And in defense of this, I think that's just what Jedi would do. Like, there weren't many of them left. I really think that it makes sense that a Jedi and a, like, fallen Jedi, if they got together, they'd be like, okay, this is our responsibility to, save these kids, especially if they had this knowledge, like, about the holocron from the beginning. Like, I don't see them doing anything else. It would be weird to me if they were like, hey, we know about this holocron that has all these Force-sensitive kids' names on them. Let's just go hang out at the beach or whatever.
Yeah, and also, too, I think, honestly, like, in regard to your comment, Mac, I think, actually, this is the test of a true... I mean, I think a true Jedi would destroy it, would make the selfless choice.
Whereas, I completely agree.
A Jedi who is not a great Jedi, like a lot of the late-stage Jedi, they probably would have decided to try to raise up the order again, or just run with it and just try to keep it from Vader and not even doing anything with it. I think that would be something that not a good Jedi would do, but a good Jedi, I think, would make the same decision that Cal did.
Din Djarin is a better Jedi than Cal Kestis.
Okay. I disagree.
So moving on. Also, one thing I really liked about
wow, you
the
guys
story
suck.
too was. Well, we just keep going on tangents. I'm just trying to, like, keep it going.
Yeah. We got what? Like 5 minutes before Tech's gotta go.
I don't care. Screw Tucker's personal life.
Tucker, please get your thoughts out.
I want to hear your time a lot.
I want to hear your thoughts, Tucker.
But no, I was just saying, like, one thing, and this will just be like kind of a final thoughts thing for me. But as far as the story goes, and honestly, I mean, people who are going to listen to this have played the game, so I don't really think we necessarily need to walk the story minute by minute as far as what happens. But on the other hand, I really like the characters. I like that we get new Inquisitors that we haven't seen before. I love getting... actually, you know what? Here's a good question. What's y'all's favorite planet?
The nostalgia in me wants to say Ilum.
I didn't really like Ilum that much.
I think for me it's got to be the Inquisitor's planet, whichever one that one was.
Oh, okay. With the babes.
How about you? Yeah.
Mine's kind of a tie. Dathomir was really fun. Just to explore. And then, besides the giant spiders, probably Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was going to say Kashyyyk. That's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, especially like getting to face the Ninth Sister at the top of the tree was so cool.
And getting to climb the, I think they just call it the Great Tree. Like, I mean, just getting to go from the Shadowlands all the way up to the tippy top. Like, I just thought that was so fun.
Yeah.
And all the mudslides and the swinging on ropes and like those puzzles I genuinely found fun because it's more just it's not about moving a ball with wind, it's about like swinging
Square
and
peg,
trying
round
not
hole.
to yeah, it is. It's more smooth brain and it's a lot more fun, I think.
I really enjoyed it, and I think I really enjoyed the pacing of the story. Like, we didn't just go straight from Cal having like a full-fledged Jedi Knight again. Like, it took time, but at the same time, I didn't feel like it was dragged out either. Like, it was good pacing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't really think any of it dragged.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Also, one thing I really liked as far as story went is all the stuff with the Zepho.
Yeah,
and
learning all
the
about
ancient
their
ruins
culture.
and whatnot.
Yes.
Like, that was awesome. I really I hope that in the next game that they do other stuff with ancient cultures that we get to learn about.
Wait,
that
was
was one
Zepho
thing
the
I
world
really found
where
fun.
you get to go on the cruiser? That was Zepho, right?
On the cruiser.
Yeah, you got to go
Zepho
on
was like the
you got to go on a Venator, right? Like you got to crawl through a Venator?
no,
I don't
that's
believe so.
or wait,
Maybe?
I'm pretty sure at Zepho you get to crawl through a Venator.
no, I think you're right. I do think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crawl through the Venator and then you end up to the elevator that takes you down into the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that is right. But anyway, yeah, I mean that's one of my favorite planets too, just because of the getting to learn about an ancient Star Wars culture that like has been previously pretty much unmentioned as far as I know.
Something else I really loved that this story gave us was Mirren and the last of the Night Sisters, and getting to see, like we talked about Dathomir already, but like we got to see that essentially their genocide, their purge in the Clone Wars, and it was really nice getting to see like what life was like for them after, and you know, clearly it wasn't very good.
And that her and Cal Kestis are totally banging.
I was gonna say in love, but yeah, that works too.
Just have, dude, actually that baby would be powerful.
Yeah, for real.
Woody though,
This,
Cal Kestis ain't
this
that
is the
strong.
baby to take down Palpatine.
Well, yeah, but also you mix in dark side magic with that. I mean, that little dude or gal would be
That's a learned
pretty
skill. It's
impressive.
not hereditary.
You're hereditary.
I mean, they're born with.
Cal Kestis is
The
a wimp
talent to do
baby soy boy.
Why
You're
do you even
a soy
play?
boy. Take that back. You're a soy boy.
You're wearing jorts. Shut your mouth right now.
No. I got pants. They just have a hole in them.
Elijah, what are those?
I fell while skateboarding, and now I have a hole in my pants.
Wait.
That happens.
Wait, you were skateboarding?
Yeah, I skateboard. I'm cool.
Is it a penny board or is it a longboard or is it an actual skateboard?
I have a penny and a longboard.
So it's not a skateboard.
Okay, that is true, but most people don't really know the difference, so I just say skateboarding.
Everyone knows
okay?
the difference.
That is not true.
Yeah,
That is not true.
Yeah,
Hey,
because you're not
can we
going to
talk
do a
about the-
kickflip on a longboard. Get out of here.
Watch me kick flip, and then I'll fall and hit my head probably, but watch me. Hey, can we talk about the mantis real quick?
I wanted to talk about the Manus. I love it.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up, so we can talk about it.
I made it chrome.
Mine is black, I think. How about you, Tech?
I made mine black and yellow to match my favorite poncho.
Hell yeah. Okay, so what I didn't know until I looked it up last night is that, so it's a S-161 Stinger, which is an extra large luxury yacht, which was not at all what I was expecting, but seeing the ship, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I wonder how Grease got it. Wonder if he
Crime.
probably There's a good chance he may have just stole it. Yeah.
Oh, that was another thing that I really loved about the game that I didn't think about. Was how you would get like samples from each planet, and they would either be like
and you could set up your plants. Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually, like, you get loth cats on the ship that hide on the ship after you go to, like,
Yes.
the first planet or whatever it's called.
Yes, I love that.
And the loth cats, like, hide on the ship the entire game.
It's
Yeah.
very cute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something, and you may or may not hate me.
Crucify
I'm
him.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Mantis. It's okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's okay.
Not the coolest Star Wars ship.
Yeah.
I think we can agree with that. I agree with that. But it's not the coolest one.
It's a mid-tier ship.
It's
good,
no,
but it's
no
not bad.
Millennium Falcon or Razor Crest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But be
But it was
real,
cool.
the Razor Crest is just a giant dumpster.
And that's why I love it.
I was gonna say, same. That's kind of what I like about
gives
it.
it
Like, it's
character.
authentic. It's authentic.
has
I like
history.
it.
It's not like I'm not a fan of the Razor Crest. Of course I love the Razor Crest. But I mean, now he flies an N1 Naboo starfighter.
Which that is better.
Way
Objectively.
better.
Yeah.
Yes, but also, where do they sleep?
The
Where does he
Mandalorian doesn't sleep.
Where does he keep his prisoners?
He actually does in the show. He does sleep, for the record.
Checkmate.
God, you're such a nerd. Obviously, he sleeps. He's still a human. But no, he doesn't do bounty honey anymore. He doesn't do bounty
Technically, he's
honey
a Mandalorian.
anymore.
That is true, but I don't know. I for the I prefer his current ship in terms of like design and how it looks and the fact that it's much faster. But like for him and Grogu, I feel like the Razor Crest just worked better.
Nah. N1 Naboo
It was their
starfighter.
RV. It was their home on
Honestly,
wheels. It was
but I
their
think
home on wheels.
But I think the Naboo Starfighter is, like, I just gotta say, I think it is a better ship.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
in
no,
all
I
honesty.
completely agree.
Yeah.
Way cooler.
Anyway, is that all we have for today?
Is it?
I think so. I don't really
don't
have
know.
much else to say.
Yeah, let me just double check my notes real quick, but I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's everything I had.
Yeah, same.
All right. My computers that I have our email logged into is dead, so I couldn't check if we have any listener questions. But if you want to send in questions, you can always email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, that is animalsquadron@gmail.com. And we'll
We're
see
not
you in the
going to
next
read
one.
them, but
I'll
read 'em
I'll
next
read them
week.
next time, I swear.
We'll read 'em
Goodbye,
next week.
everybody.
Adios.
goodbye.